Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yashala, Koholoimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well there by the Spirit, taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M, Akwaf, that's out here sincerely keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. Jachana and the Waf just coming at you with another quick lesson. Pray that it's edifying by the Spirit. And just wanted to get off into, these Christian churches with white Jesus. They're falling off so bad they need gimmicks. And they've always had gimmicks, because the church that I used to go to, it's a mega church too. They got churches all over the world, pastor with the private jets and all that crap, but they just sent me, and I've been told them, hey, I called them one day when I first came into this truth years back, like, hey, stop sending your materials to my house, but they still do it. So they send, they got the Christmas, first off, they got the Halloween hookup on there, for the children. Some children's play, some crazy crap. Then they got the Thanksgiving program on there. Then they got the Christmas program on there. Then they got the New Year's program on there. And the scriptures talks about the customs of the people are vain in Jeremiah chapter 10, And I just, every time it comes through, I kind of look at it. I've done videos on them before. Kind of take snapshots to just show, hey, these Christian churches are going off. But that's how they get their money. If a Christian church stopped holding a Christmas celebration, they would lose all their congregants, and they know it. See, they're not about the true preaching of the gospel. They're about collecting money, man. It's a money thing for them. They're not like, I'm going to trust in the Lord to take care of my needs. They have that money in mind. They understand that, okay, I have 25 to 30,000 congregants. Even if all of them just give $1, that's $30,000 within a city on a Sunday. And they have like 3 Sunday services, man. One early in the morning, like 7, where the older people come. Then they'll have that one where, you got your drunk ass, that age between your 25s to 40 that's been out all night getting high. They got a later service for them around 11 o'clock-ish. 12 o'clock-ish, and then they got that afternoon service. Then we ain't gonna talk about they got that, a Monday night this, a Tuesday night Bible study, a Wednesday night, whatever the hell. They even be sending me postcards and stuff with their women's conferences and stuff. But let me get this real quick. It says Detroit church hosts 25,000 free gas giveaway at 5 gas stations. Yeah, niggas gonna show up for gas. Niggas gonna show up for some free gas. If all I gotta do is pull up. You gonna put 40 in my tank? You gonna put a week's worth of gas in my car? But why are they really doing it? Do they really care? No, they trying to get them numbers back up. It says Sentinel of Praise, located on Linden. Detroit is hosting a 25,000 gas giveaway on Sunday at 5 gas stations. The giveaway begins Sunday, October 23rd, 11 a.m. Those gas stations are, they get at 5 gas stations. I'm familiar with all of them. Not that I go to any of them because I don't live in that area, but I'm familiar with them. I'm familiar with all of them. But anyway, it says each gas station will have 5,000 total in free gas given to drivers, $40 maximum, in Detroit's Brightmoor neighborhood. According to AAA, Michigan has the 10th highest gas prices in the nation. The national gas price average is $3.91. Michigan's average was $4.27. No, that gas got way higher than that here. Brightmoor's poverty rate is close to 35%, Sentinel said. There's a segment of residents that live on less than $7,000 annually, which is 150% below the national poverty level. And that's all Jake. Number of Negroes live over there, man. And that's a part of those curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. I mean, we're doing bad as a people in general. And there's plenty of places throughout the U.S. of A. where the so-called blacks are in these communities where they're just getting scathing by, man. And if it wasn't for the government giving them, supplemental plans, the food stamps, the Section 8, that's how you know that it's going to be an easy trap for a lot of our people to take that MOTB. That Revelation 13:16, where they want to put that grain of rice in you, because our people are already They're so absorbed into this man taking care of them. They don't know what to do. They're not going to pray. And if they do pray, they're going to pray to white Jesus, which is a damn idol. You see? Well, let me grab a quick scripture real quick. Let's get this. Yeah, they're going to get our people, man, because our people are dependent upon them, man. And the Lord said that, our people would go to them for one of all things in Deuteronomy chapter 28. That's another curse. That's how you know who the children of Israel are, that we will go to them for one of all things, for clothing. That's just like you got a Kanye West right now. Supposedly Adidas done got rid of his contract or whatever. They done canceled him. So Kanye he's a billionaire. He has all this money. But guess what? He has to go to some other nation to even continue his businesses if he needs to, if he wants to, so to speak. He's not going to be able to continue making no Yeezys or no shirts, no hoodies, no pants. He's going to, because he doesn't have the materials. He don't own the companies for those materials. And then even if he does own one of those companies, two of those companies, whatever, he got everything that he need. He still has to depend upon the banks, which, are rejecting him as well. You see? So we'll see how that goes, because I don't think it's completely legal that you can stop a person from banking, because that's discrimination just because of something that somebody said. Come on, man, get out of here. But that's just the way that it is, man. I wanted to go off into, what was that? Well, let's go into Deuteronomy 28 real quick. Get that curse real fast, that we will have to go to them for one of all things. Because, see, these churches are falling off, man, and they're trying their best, their hardest. They'll spend $25,000, but that's to get you there. That's to get you to come back. They know that everybody is not going to come back, but, there's going to be a large percentage that's going to be like, you know what, man, let me go ahead and give my life to Jesus. You know how they be. Give my life to Jesus. Oh, let's see. Yeah, man, we done here. Verse 43 is a good one. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. And that stranger, in this particular context, is the people that you see in your neighborhoods gathering all your money. The so-called Chinese man, he's got your beauty supply store. He killing it with the women. With the nails and hair and eyelashes and whatever the hell else. He's there. He's a stranger. He's above you. You got your Ishmaelites. Well, at least in my neighborhoods is what I'm kind of naming off. Your Ishmaelites. They run all the gas. Well, the gas stations and the mechanic shops. So they're getting all your money in that area. The banks, you already know who owns those. Amalek, the small hatters. Them 1948ers that's calling themselves the holy people. They have all your banks. Then you have your supermarkets. It's different nations of people that's in the neighborhoods that own the supermarkets. Jake don't own nothing. Your gas stations, of course, like I said, they're ran by Ishmaelites. Here, I'm just speaking as to where I'm at, but I'm sure that wherever you are, you can see that the people that are within your neighborhood, they're not people of your nation. They're the ones that's getting your money. They're up above you. They can go to a bank and get a loan. They're the ones that own the hotels, motels. They own the food. If you want a damn burger, you got to go to one of these so-called white people's burger joints. Your Sonics, your McDonald's, your Burger King, your Carl's Jr., your whoever, wherever the hell it's at. The so-called white people own those companies, man. Ice cream, whether it's Haagen-Dazs to whatever brand, they own all that. So these people come to your neighborhood and they set up shop and they take all your money and they send their children to college. They come up and they do well. You know what I'm saying? With these, but you so-called blacks, you've been here, you built this country, and you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, you are the Hebrew Israelites. You are under these curses. That's the reason why these people are above you. So see, when you come into this truth, you start to understand, okay, that's the reason why. That's what's going on. It kind of gives you relief, man. It gives you comfort because you know that it's the Lord that done it to us, and he's merciful and he's long suffering, and that he's going to eventually get us out of this situation, and that salvation is only for the Hebrew Israelites, and these nations are going to pay for what they've done to us. Okay. But it says, verse 44, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And that's what's going on. And the main culprit in that is the so-called white man. He's the head, and we're the tail. And that goes off into disobedience. When we was obeying the Lord, when you go into verse 1, let's go back up here. Verse 1, it says, blessings for obedience. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. So see, this is when we was doing what we were supposed to do. But as soon as we started being disobedient and started worshiping other gods, false gods, that's when these curses came in on us. And this is our last captivity. You know, that's a beautiful thing about it. Now, verse 15, it says, curses for disobedience. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou would not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And that was just a few of them that I was reading, as far as them lending to you. They own the banks. And then you can go there and you can have the best credit score in the world, and they still might not give you a loan. That's a part of those curses. But let me get the one of all things. Verse 45. Let me keep reading here. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. And no people are more destroyed than the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the children of Israel, man. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. So, hey, we didn't keep our end of the contract, and here's his end. He told you what was going to happen in the contract. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. See? Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger. See, if we're hungry, we got to go to their supermarket. We got to go to their fast food restaurant. We got to go to their snack stand, vending machine, whatever. Anything you eating. You want some nuts? You want some peanuts, walnuts, pecans? I don't give a shit what it is you're eating. The so-called white man or some other race of people is in control of that, and you're going to purchase their items. It says, in thirst, if you want to, you pay a water bill. You want to wash your ass, you got to pay these people to wash up, man. You want to drink from your water faucet, which is fluorided out. You got to pay them for that. You want to boil a pot of water on the stove. You got to pay them for, the gas, the electricity, whatever it takes to boil that water. But that water, even if you're trying to purify it, they own the water, man. You want a Pepsi, you want a Coke, you want a cup of coffee, you want a latte, anything that it is to drink, man, and thirst. You're paying these other nations for it, and mainly the so-called white man. And in nakedness. See, this is where Kanye West comes in at. In nakedness. He doesn't own the companies with the, that puts together the fabrics. I think they call it textiles or whatever it's called. He doesn't own those companies where, he can make a rug or make a shirt or pants or it's the other nations that own that stuff. See, they've made enough money off Kanye, They made enough money. Adidas made enough money off Kanye to move on and do something else, You see what I'm saying? So they'll use your ass up and then discard you. But, that goes off into nakedness because the hoodie that you may have on, the pants, your drawers, your socks, your T-shirts, your, hell, if it's wintertime, you got some gloves on, a winter cap, anything. In nakedness, we have to go to them at a Walmart or the mall, Macy's, wherever, who's ever open. Hell, I ain't been to a mall in forever. Foot Locker, whoever, man. You got to go to the so-called white man or one of these nations to get your things. Now, this is one of those curses. You can't tell me that we don't fit these curses to a T. It says, and in want of all things. So if you want to, go and maybe become a car mechanic, you got to go to this man, learn his shit, get his permits, get his licenses, get his degrees. You want to become a fireman. You want to become just anything that you want to do on your own. You want to become I want to own my own plumbing business. my own electric, whatever, you know, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to pursue, whatever you want to be. You want to be a flight pilot. You got to go to this man. You can't just go out here and jump into no plane and get to flying it. And if a so-called black person was to try and open up a flight aviation school or anything like that, man, they'll put your ass through the ringer, man, trying to open up something like that. The loans, you got to go to them for loans you got to go to them. You'll be 5-10 years just trying to do it to go into an upstart. You need a lawyer. You need them for their laws, all kinds of shit, man. So you're not going to tell me we don't fit these curses, man. Then it says, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And I like to always pull this up to show you yoke of iron, right? Because when you Google yoke of iron, which let's go into it. I'm just going to, let me see if I got I got the DuckDuckGo. Let's go into it. If you put in this thing, yoke of iron, what you're going to see is, let me just put this in real quick. Salakia. I may have already put it in. There you go with your white Jesus. Let's get the, let's just put in yoke of iron. There you have it. Let's see what pops up. Let's see what images pop up when you put in yoke of iron. And there you go. Here you go right here. Let's put in images. See? Who do you see? Clear indicator that the people that the scriptures is talking about is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. You are the children of Israel. So this is what they're trying to do. They want to keep you in these churches believing in white Jesus. That's an idol. And that's also in Deuteronomy 28 too. Goes off into wood and stone. Matter of fact, let's go back to that. Let's get that real quick. Because we want to prove all things, man. Let me see. Where is that at? Yeah, right here. Verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. And one of those main, one of our main stumbling blocks or our main idol is Christianity with that wood cross, that wood. And the secondary one is Islam with that stone, that cobblestone, man. And we've gone into multiple captivities. This is going to be the last one, though. As the children of Israel, every time we disobeyed the Lord always sent a nation up against us, man, and enslaved us. And then we would cry out to him, Lord, Lord, Lord. They treating us like shit. And then he would send a savior, so to speak, or somebody to come in and save us. And then we would be free for a while. And then we get right back into idol worship. And then he sent our asses back into slavery again. And now this particular slavery right here, where we came to the Americas in ships, when you get down to verse 68, it tells you that we came here on ships. We just showed you that the yokes of iron was on the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Like I said, Google it for yourself. You can Google it. You can use whatever search engine you want. But if you put in that yokes of iron, that is exactly what you're going to see. And how is that the first picture that pops up? Because that's a picture that they haven't scrubbed yet. Because, see, the so-called white man, he's being identified as being the wicked. So he's starting to scrub certain things on the internet. It's certain stuff you can type in now that you used to be able to. You're not going to find it no more. Because they've gotten rid of it because they're trying to get rid of, see, they got the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans thinking that it's all about justice is the reason why they're taking out all these statues. Statues of General Lee, statues of all these racist ass so-called white men that terrorize the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans communities for so long. Then they try to take down these statues and say, see, we're about equality. We're not about bigotry. We're not going to stand for anyone being racist. But in the meanwhile, they taking that shit down so they can get rid of their history. See, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. And then what are they doing? They fighting so hard against critical race theory. Because they don't want their children to find out what they done to your children. They're trying to completely eradicate the teaching of slavery in schools, man. So the next generation, 2 generations will come through and they won't even know about slavery at all. The few that will, it won't even matter. You see? But verse 68 right here says, and Yahweh shall bring them into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And that word, when it goes off into buy you, it just means no one will redeem you. Because there was a system back in the ancient days where you can go in and redeem your family member from out of servitude or bondage. That word goes into redeeming. You see? So now, when it talks about Egypt, let's go to, because the brothers used to always bring this up. Now it's one in I want to say it's 1 Kings. Let's go into. Is that what I want? No, Exodus. I'm not sure if this is what I want though. Yeah, Exodus 20:2. I am Yahweh of thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And the NLT over here says, I am the Lord thy God, who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. So that means that when it goes off into this word Egypt, he's going to send you into Egypt again with ships. He's going to send you into slavery again with ships. Because if you know the demographics of Israel in that particular area, you don't need a ship. You can walk to Egypt. You don't need ships. You see what I'm saying? And see that yoke of iron, that's a key right there. That key to yoke of iron, and those yokes of iron being on our men and women's necks, and us being chained together and walk to these auction blocks. That's an indicator as to who we are. And once you go into verse 46, like I said, you got to read through Deuteronomy chapter 28, because it's 68 verses, but you'll get it. Trust me, when you read through it and you just kind of look up some of the words, if you get a little stumble, or go into the NLT, look into some of these other translations, you'll get it, man. Now, this is verse 46. Let me see if that's, 46 is what I want, I think. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So these curses are signs on us. You can tell who we are because of these curses. And I like to use the illustration all the time that if you go to a McDonald's, you know that you're at McDonald's because you can see their sign. You can see that big ass arch. You can see the big yellow M, so to speak. You know that you're there because that's a sign. You know who you're dealing with as far as the Israelites, because it's a sign on us, these curses. That yoke of iron, you ain't going to get around that. You're not going to get around that, man. But let's go back into this story. I know I kind of, went. But hey, that's by the Spirit, man. Because, I always pray that, I flow in the Spirit as I'm doing these lessons. Because that's information that needs to come out for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You are Israelites. You are the people of the Bible. Your Lord is not some blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. The reason why we're in the situation that we're in is because of idol worship like that. As a people, man. It's time to wake up. It's high time to awake out of sleep. Because we're living in the last days where the Lord is about to come. The real Lord, which his name is Yahweh, which means that he's the Savior or deliverer in Paleo Hebrew. And the true name of the Father, our power, is Yahweh, which means that he exists, or he is to be the existing one. See, these so-called white people, they don't want you to know those names. They don't want you to call on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. They don't want, no, they don't want you to have no parts in that. That is the most powerful thing that you can have as a so-called black, Hispanic, or Native American person, man, is the names of the Father and Son, and praying to the Father Yahweh in the name of his Son, Yahweh Shai, which are the real and true names of the Father and Son. They want you calling on damn Jesus, man, which is an idol. The letter J is not even in Hebrew. The letter J was invented in 1524, about 500 years ago. So if the Lord walked the earth 2,000 years ago, how's his name Jesus? That's something that they beat into us during slavery when we had those yokes of iron on our necks. See? So let's get the rest of this. It's not too much more. I think that was pretty much about it. It says the church is partnered with Nation Outside nonprofit organization to offer voter registration during the gas giveaway. See, this is what they want to do. They want you to, because see, these churches, where I'm at, these churches, they have the voting systems. Where pretty much in these neighborhoods, you go to the church to vote. They have the system set up in the church, man. And you know. Yeah, they had these churches set up with the voting spots, man. People waiting all outside and shit forever. You know what I'm saying? Out here trying to vote for a so-called white man that's not going to do any damn thing for you. You see what happened with Joe Biden? What did Joe Biden do when he got there? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now, who he did get down for, he got down for the LGBTQ, just like Obama did. So he's picking up where Obama left off at, man. And the scriptures talks about, let me see. Salakia, this is it right here, Deuteronomy 17:15. Thou shalt in no wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy God shall choose. Let me start that back. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee. I might need to get a little more of that. Let's get the rest. Start at verse 14. Okay, it says, when thou art come into the land which the Lord Yahweh thy God giveth thee, and shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. See? And that's what's going on with you damn Israelites right now. You got people that's over you, mayors, governors. You go out and you vote for these people, presidents, senators. You know, you go out and vote for these people, man, and they don't have your interests in mind. You're not supposed to be praying to, going out and voting for these people. And here you go, you got the Christian church with the Bible in their hand, setting up damn election polls in the church for you to come and vote for some damn heathen that's not gonna look out for you, man. Let me get this Isaiah. What is that, 31? Yeah, Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. And America is modern day Egypt, man. It's spiritually Egypt. That's why you see that damn pyramid on the back of that dollar. And they have you Israelites in slavery, just like Pharaoh and them had you in slavery. It says, and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. See, our people don't seek the Lord. The first person they look to is the so-called white man to take care of them. That's why so many of them are going to fall for that damn chip, man. They're going to fall for that C-hip. They're going to fall for that grain of rice. They're going to fall for this man saying, hey, if you want to continue on getting these benefits, then you're going to have to come, because they want you as a perpetual slave. You're already enslaved to them, but that's not enough. They want to perpetually enslave you, man. They want, for every child that you bring forth, they want to perpetually own them from the beginning of their birth. It's not like they don't already, but they want to put some shit in you where you're not going to be able to buy or sell or do anything out here in this society unless you have what they're trying to throw at you, man. So it's high time for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to awake out of sleep, man. We're living in the last days. This is it. Repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of his son Yahushai. Because this is it, man. Like I said, we're almost out of here. The Lord is about to come and take this man down, which he needs to be taken down. This place is wicked as hell. How much longer do you think this type of wickedness is going to go on, man? Shit can't last. I mean, it's gonna self-destruct in itself. This man, if he rules for another 10, 15, 20 years, especially another half millennial or come on, man. You know damn well this place won't last. This man done tore this entire planet up. Straight up, man. So with that, hey, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Hey, come out of those harlot houses. Come out of those churches with these sneaky bastards trying to get you to come through. And they want you to come vote, but you better believe they're passing out a brochure telling you about passing and First Lady. They trying to get you there for Christmas. See, that $25,000 is nothing. They can make that back within one service. One early morning service, they can make that back. That's nothing, man. They trying to get that church attendance back up because they missing all that money that they used to make before COVID hit their asses. But with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwam Yashala.